Here it is. Police. How you doing? I'm working on a story to figure out process for making a complaint against an officer.
Okay. All right. So we would talk to you first. A commander would come in and speak with you, a shift commander. So if you know the name of the officer, we'll go ahead and get a hold of the shift commander, and he'll come in here and speak with you. So it's a pretty simple process. You have a seat. The shift commander comes to speak with you, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
You want to do that today?
I don't feel like talking about it today.
Okay. When you are ready to talk about it, just come on back. We'll get real basic information, and the shift commander will get all the specific details of the complaint. Okay?
What shift commander that would be.
Okay. Well, if you're in here and his shift commander's not in, somebody else can speak with you. So obviously we prefer to speak with that officer's direct commander, but if you're in here and you're needing to speak with somebody and have a pressing matter, we can get somebody in contact with you. It's not a problem.
Okay. I couldn't just write it down. You don't have a form or nothing?
No, there's not, like, you don't just turn in a piece of paper. No, they'll have many follow-up questions. So yeah, those are made in person.
There's got to be some kind of complaint form. Do you have
There's
like
not a complaint form. No, you make those in person.
What about just a complaint on another individual?
On another individual, you would speak with a patrol officer in that case.
Well, if he was acting out of his scope of authority, then he'd be treated as an individual, then wouldn't he?
If he's not acting, right, you would make a police report as an individual. That's correct. You would speak with a police officer. That would not be you would not write that down either. You would speak with an officer.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't make a report on anything here unless you talk to a police officer?
A police officer or commander, that's correct.
You can't just write down
Nope.
no complaints. Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
What's your name?
My name is Brad.
Brad. And how long have you been here, Brad?
7 years.
7 years. And the only way to make a complaint is to speak to an officer. You can't write it
Or a
down.
commander.
Or the commander.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I'd like to speak with somebody then.
Sure. Okay. We can arrange that. What's your name?
I don't want to give it yet.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and have a seat, and I'll have somebody come and talk to you.
Thanks.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Understand you have a question or something? Or?
Yeah, I'm working on a story on how to make a complaint
Okay.
on an officer.
Okay.
And I was told that I have to speak with somebody. They don't just have a complaint form that,
That's correct. So, I'm your man.
here's the man, huh?
Yeah.
What's your name?
McCoy is my last name.
Okay. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess I'm just disappointed that you have to speak with somebody. I mean, that doesn't seem right, that I'd be complaining to the person's boss. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense because if I'm that person's direct supervisor, then that might be somebody that I need to talk to or address. So yeah, so it makes
Right.
perfect sense to me. But
Oh, you don't think that somebody that's not involved with that person every day should be looking into that instead?
well, I don't know who you're making the complaint on, but there's a pretty good chance that I'm involved with that person every day I work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I answered your question, right?
Would that make you a little biased then?
No, not necessarily.
No. Okay. You don't make any biased decisions in this?
No. What's the nature of the complaint?
Well, it's a complaint on an officer.
Okay.
That's what I got, and I don't think I want to divulge it now that I have to speak with somebody about it. I think I'd rather just take it somewhere else. Do you have an internal affairs division?
We do. You'll be speaking to somebody though.
Yeah, I think that's probably more appropriate if I make it a complaint on an officer. Don't you agree?
No, the way our policy is set up, I'm the starting point.
Okay.
There's a good chance, I don't know when this incident happened, who the officer is, but I may or may not be that person's direct supervisor, so until you tell me a little bit, it's hard for me to be able to give you an answer on anything.
Okay. Well, I'm just disappointed now.
No,
I can't just walk away with a paper or send something in the mail or
You
anything
can do
like
whatever you
that?
want. You can do whatever you want. You just have to understand that the weight that we put into an anonymous complaint may be a little bit different than somebody that we're able to speak to face to face.
Do you know if they're looked into,
Sure, absolutely.
every one of them, every complaint you get, whether it's anonymous or if it's,
It's looked into, but again, like I said, I mean, there's weight put into it because we aren't able to ask you questions to do follow-up. So, I mean, there's,
right.
we kind of.
Now, what if I'm just passing through the area and I don't even live in Lafayette? And,
Then it would be a problem for us to be able to get in contact with you if you're doing everything anonymous.
no, I'm saying if I did give you my information and I'm not even close by to here, then how would,
Well,
how would that work if I had
it
to
looks
speak
like you
with
have a phone.
somebody?
Looks like you have a phone, so
Yeah.
we can contact you by phone.
Yeah, would that be, something that you've dealt with before, or is that something that goes directly
I
to
worked in what
internal?
you're calling IA for 5 years, so I'm familiar with the process. So, yeah, I mean,
Great.
if you're gonna make a complaint, a formal complaint, then they'll be in contact with you.
Okay. All right. So once again, I won't be able to take a form from here, that'd be a complaint.
Well, we kind of covered that, so yeah, if you want to send a letter, if you want to write a note, if you want to drop it off, but again, the weight that we can put into a complaint is kind of determined by the information that's provided to us. So if there's no way for us to talk to you about it, ask you questions about it, you're unwilling to answer questions about it,
Yeah.
then it makes our job a little more difficult to be able to follow up on a complaint.
Okay,
Now, if you identify yourself, give us contact information, we're able to ask you questions, and you answer us truthfully and honestly, then
Right.
that's something we might be able to follow up on.
okay. All right, is there a sheriff's office close by here?
Yeah, every county has a sheriff's office.
Yeah, is it close by to this office here?
It's probably 2 or 3 miles away. How are you, Mr. Francis?
Could somebody take a complaint that they have on an officer to that office?
They will probably more than likely forward you right back down to here.
Okay, so you never heard of anybody doing that? Taking-
Yeah, I've heard of people going down there and making complaints, but again, they'll forward you right down to us to make the complaint. So,
Okay, so right down to the street level, they wouldn't forward me to internal affairs either?
street level, you mean like a patrol officer kind of thing? If you went to,
Well, if you're not in internal affairs, then what other divisions are there that wouldn't be involved with the public?
if you want to
every
try
day?
and talk to somebody from admin, from internal affairs, I can see if somebody's in to talk to you. I mean, if that's what you're wanting.
Does-
I mean,
does
you're
the
going to have to
cit-
sit down and talk.
Yeah.
You're confusing me a little bit.
Well, I'm
because
just- I'm just
you either want to
asking
do it
questions,
anonymously on a
so-
piece of paper, or you
Well,
want,
I
you want
don't-
to talk to
I
somebody.
didn't say I
You
wouldn't.
don't want to talk to me, so I don't quite understand what you're looking
Okay.
for. You tell me what you want.
Well,
see if I can get that.
I'd like to give my information and help the police investigate their own,
Yeah.
their
And we
own,
would too. I mean, if there's some kind of
officers
issue,
involved.
we'd certainly want to know about it.
But I think I'm just a little hesitant being that it's been known to police have retaliatory means if they're in office. If you see this guy every day, then you got to file a complaint on him. Then you know that the word gets around. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, we do a pretty good job policing our own, so.
Yeah, I mean the word about that would probably get out pretty quickly, though, wouldn't
What's
it? If I was to make a complaint on a specific officer and you were the one taking that complaint, then the rest of the officers, everybody would know that you were the one who
What
took
we
the
talk about is
complaint.
done in confidence. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm either here to help you make the complaint or I'm not. So,
Okay.
you just need to let me know what you want to do. But your complaints are done in confidence. I mean, the only people who would know about it are any of the periphery people that we might need to talk to, the officer, myself, and maybe my boss.
Then what about, does the City of Lafayette Police Department have a police commission?
We have a merit board.
A mayor board?
Merit
Board.
right.
Now is that like individuals of the community that would oversee the,
Yeah,
They-
there's 5 people from the community that sit on that. 2 are put on there by the city council, 1 by the mayor, and 2 by the police department.
they're appointed, not elected then?
Correct.
Okay. All right, well, looks like I got different options then if I don't want to give you my name and
Yep, you have
my
different options.
information. And yeah, I've been visiting this area for a few days, so I know I'm not gonna stay here, so that's why I think it's important that I just stay anonymous for now.
Okay.
And then,
So what do you want to do? You want to write it down? You want to talk to me? You want to talk to somebody from admin? What would you like to try and do?
I don't know, I think I might go over to the sheriff's office and talk to them and see what they have to say.
Okay. Well, they're going to be similar to us, I would imagine. And again, they'll probably send you right back down here to make the complaint. So,
Okay.
you know, and if they do take your initial information or the information about whatever this complaint is, they may do type up the original information and then send it to us to follow up on.
Okay. Great.
So one way or another, it's going to filter back to us.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't agree with, you know, you're working with this individual every day and here you are taking a complaint, you know,
Well,
It's
we're
a
professionals.
little-
We're professionals, and we do a good job of policing our own. So I don't.
yeah. When's the last time you got a speeding ticket? When's the last time you were speeding?
1994 or 3, something like
Is
that.
that the last
It's
time
been
you
a
were
while.
speeding?
I don't know about that. It's the last time I got a ticket, though.
Okay. What about any violations with the law and getting a ticket from another one of your officers here?
I'm here to talk to you about a complaint that you have against an officer or whatever it is, so not to talk about me. So.
Well, I'm just worried about how generous you're going to be with my complaint versus how generous you're going to be.
I've been
with-
here for almost 25 years, so I have a clean record. I'm pretty professional, willing to work with whoever about whatever. Been in all different parts of this department, detectives, admin, patrol, so
Good.
so whatever you need, I'm here to try and help. So
Okay. Do you have a card?
I don't have a card, but I can give you my name and badge number and phone number if you guys.
You don't have a card? You don't give lieutenants cards here? Okay. Does your chief have a card?
I don't know. You want my name and information, or?
Yeah, you want to write it down? And, about this internal affairs, maybe you could find that number for me too?
Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. Let me get the number.
You bet.
I'm the top one, and then the admin person is the bottom one.
That's for the,
What you're referring to as IA. He's Lieutenant Admin Services.
administration. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is structured here.
Okay, well,
I want to
if-
get the most
You're
effect
gonna
of my
have to-
complaint, you know?
Sure. Yeah, you're gonna have to trust somebody along the way, so I'm just
Yeah.
telling you how the complaint process works here. So.
Thank you.
Okay, yep.